What's going on, everyone? It's BonesCoon here, and today I wanted to cover a little bit more about the card game that I've been working on. Now, I settled on a name. I don't know if I mentioned it in previous videos, but Collided Kingdoms is what I'm going with. And I split up everything that I want to do into phases. Now, I've taken this fairly seriously. I've had a lot of hobbies. I briefly attempted to write a book. I've made random little card games in the past, mostly in high school when I was bored and didn't really have anything to do. Um, they all had interesting concepts, but they weren't anything that I really put in depth work into. They were mostly just little sheets of paper that I ripped up with like different stats and everything like that, and then made games out of. Actually, I made a game once strictly based around origami frogs. It had a whole battle system to it and everything. I thought it was neat. Middle school me. Sixth grade me thought it was neat, but I don't know. Today, maybe, maybe not so much. But um, those hobbies were just hobbies. This is something that I really am investing my time into. And so I split this into phases, and I wanted to cover with you guys the phases because I'm still on phase one right here. And phase one is to create a base set, playtest game, and reach out to artists to get estimates. Now, I've done two out of these three things. I've yet to playtest the game. That will be soon. I have created the base set. It's a 94 card set. All of it's done. And then reach out to artists to get estimates. I did that a couple of days ago. I started talking to some artists and I figured out a fair price to offer all of them. And it's $100 to $150 every card. Now for a 94 card set, that's hefty. And in addition to that, I wanted to kind of maybe make limited edition versions of certain cards and everything for the purpose of the campaign that I'm going to discuss in a little bit. And so that would, of course, be more, but uh, I'm not sure. It's all stuff that I'll cover in a little bit. I want to talk a little more about the game before I did that, though. Collided Kingdoms is a game revolved around mystery. And as the game will progress, as more sets are released, the lore will expand, and it'll start to explain what exactly is going on. But in the initial set, as you know the story right now, there are 5 kingdoms, and portals have mysteriously opened from one kingdom to another, and they don't know why. But humans, being the humans that they are, well, there's one group of elves, but things happen. They have decided to go at war with each other, and that is the base premise of the game: is that you want your kingdom to be the superior one. You want it to be the one that's victorious. So you start the game with a kingdom card of your choice already in play. The deck can contain warriors that match the kingdom that you have, or it can also contain and/or development cards, equipments, artifacts, and freelancers. Now, freelancers are like warriors, but they level up, and they can be in any kingdom's deck. They don't really pertain to a specific one. Development cards help speed up the process of your deck and just overall get things going faster, slow the enemy down, give you some life. They could do almost anything. Artifacts do a similar thing to development cards, but they're more global effects and they typically stay on the field, so they're permanent. And then equipments are just as they state. They beef up your warriors, make them stronger more often than not, and such and such. Warriors, they are the meat of your deck generally. I'm sure that people will build decks that don't really use warriors, but warriors are what you use to beat down your enemy. They can also save you when you're in a pinch. There's a card, Greta the healer, and her ability is when she comes into play, you return into play all of your warriors that died that turn. Or there's Ian, the Lord of Presidio, and his ability is you can play him at almost any time. And when he's played, your warriors become indestructible until the end of turn. So, um, if you're about to have your people wiped out, somebody wipes out the entire field through whatever means, you can plop him down and then they're safe, at least for the turn. And so there's a lot of different strategy that you can do with the game, and I'm building the lore on a lot of them. My favorite card personally is Carmichael. Uh, so Carmichael is a freelancer from Arcadia. He was born into poverty and suffered through the death of his parents through murder at a young age. He has a particularly high intellect and uses his resourcefulness and his mind to tinker around with objects and reconstruct them to serve the needs that he wants. He will resort to thievery and really anything that he needs to do. He's a mischievous dude. And Arcadia is his homeland. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it certainly didn't do him any favors. So he was happy to go ahead and go with whoever would pay him the most as soon as those portals open. And yeah. So anyway, that is phase 1. And now I'm going to move on to phase 2 to show you guys. Phase 2 is complete 3 cards for quality examples, finalize perks for IndieGo, and tweak game rules. So, complete means artwork and everything done. My girlfriend is working on some of the cards if need be. I'm going to go ahead and pay an artist to complete cards as well. But we're going to play that one by ear. This one I'll just pay out of pocket for. I need the 3 cards for quality examples for the IndieGo campaign and also for just general like exposure to the game because I want people to see, hey, this guy is actually putting some work into this. Like, he's not just screwing around. He is taking this very seriously. So, the 3 cards, I'm not sure what they will be yet. That's still something that I want to work out. I think I want one of them to be a Kingdom card. That way I can have its complete design done and see what that looks like. IndieGo is the site that I'm choosing to use for this campaign. The reason being is because I've used IndieGo in the past. I never finalized and started doing any campaigns, but I've worked with its layout and stuff quite a bit, and so it's more familiar to me than Kickstarter is, so I figured that I would just stick with that and use it. I like its perk system and how everything works out. I've worked out some really awesome perks. Actually, I talked with a friend. He produces wooden tokens for Magic, and I got a price estimate and everything to see what it would cost if I went ahead and had wooden versions of Kingdom cards made specifically for the campaign. Limited edition things that you would only get from the campaign. Now, the Kingdom cards, I should explain, they never go into your deck for whatever reason. As I said, they start out already in play. They don't leave play for whatever reason. They are a permanent part of the field, and they're there until you win or lose the game. So, that being said, really, you don't have to have the card made out of your standard card stock. And I thought about that. And so I realized that I could have those limited edition wooden versions made and have them be completely legal in any play. So, that's exactly what I'm going to do. The limited edition wooden tokens that will be available in the IndieGo campaign will be legal to use in any game format for my game. And then tweak game rules. Again, I gotta playtest the game to be able to tweak the game rules. I playtested a very early concept of the game, and I changed the rules drastically because of that. I had to make a ton of changes, but we're going to see how those play out. Phase 3, begin gaining hype for the game. record live matches of the game, and build starter decks for all 5 kingdoms. Now, hype is just really any exposure. I already have a Facebook page made for this card game, and on it I'm posting lore about a lot of the characters and general updates on what's going on. So if you would like to like that page, I'll have the link down below for you to do that. And just share that with your friends, all that you would like as well, because that would be really cool. Live matches of the game is obviously, you can read the rules all you want, and I can explain the game as until I'm like red in the face and my throat is just insanely dry, which it already is actually, so that sucks. But nothing will compare to actually watching the game be played, so you can get a real idea of just how the gameplay is. Because theories are one thing, but actuality is another. And so I want to record live matches of the game. They'd end up on my YouTube channel, obviously, so you'll be seeing those somewhere down the road if you have any interest in my game. And so that also builds on gaining hype for the game, because, it generally, people see that and they're just like, oh, this is for this card game. Alright, cool. And then build starter decks for all 5 kingdoms. So these 5 starter decks will be available through the same format that the base set, like booster packs, will be as well. I'm probably going to use Game Crafter to do it. Game Crafter is very affordable, but I don't know. It's still something to think over. I saw some actual, like, someone that I know used Game Crafter to print out some cards, and they turned out fantastic. They look great, and so I think that's the site that I'm going to use, but I need to figure out a few more details on that. But the 5 starter decks will be after I've seen people playtest the game and built decks and everything like that. That way I can get an idea of what flows well. That way I can make all 5 of those decks. And then phase 4 is launch IndieGo. So this is after all the hype's built and everything like that. I will launch IndieGo to earn the money and then begin designing the first expansion set. So, the IndieGo campaign, I want to explain to you what the money goes to with that. Almost all of it goes to paying the artists for making it. A 94 card set at paying $100 to $150 a piece. Say that, oh gosh, geesh, that's daunting to think about. Oh my gosh. Say that I pay them all a bare minimum of $100 per card. That's $9,400 total to make this game. That's crazy. In addition to that, I want to be able to pay for some, like, essentially demo pieces. I want to be able to buy, like, some of the decks from Game Crafter and everything like that and pay for their printing costs. That way I can have people playtest actual 100% done product of the game and really get a feel of it and everything. And that stuff could add up over time. And aside from that, that's about it. I also wanted to be compensated for a little bit of my time. Really not a lot. Almost this entire campaign will go to that. And I'm not paying the artists strictly $100, especially for the freelancers, which I will hope for extreme detail in. So a lot of cards will be higher up to $150 a piece. So this is going to go past $10,000. By the end of this, and all the other little expenses that there are, because the perks themselves cost money to make and everything like that, and that needs to be covered, we're looking at probably $25,000 to $30,000. And almost all of that is going to just getting this game made off the ground and then out to the people that want it. So I just want to assure you guys, I'm not just going to grab 80% of the money and then keep it all for myself. Any payment that I receive will be because I put a lot of time and effort into it, such as making this video, developing the entire set, taking the time to play test it, tweaking everything around, working on the rules, all that stuff. I have not asked for any help in developing cards or anything like that. Aside from the artwork, I've done all the work on this so far. And in the future, I will be getting some more help. So those people will also be paid for their times and services. But yeah, I wanted to be honest and open with you guys about exactly where the money goes for the IndieGo campaign, because I'm sure that some people will be interested in knowing some details on just where their stuff's going. And then begin designing the first expansion set. Now, I don't want to release the base set, have that be done, and then just have people wait an absurd amount of time before the expansion set comes out. The expansion set will feature another kingdom, and it will build more lore onto the game, as well as expand onto the 5 kingdoms that already exist. So I really want to start working on it as soon as I launch that IndieGo campaign. I've actually already developed a couple of the cards, but they're not finalized. Obviously, I don't want to work more on them because I don't know how the base game is going to flow, and I want to build an expansion set that really goes well with the base set and then go from there. And I will definitely have more, more out there. Like, I'm not going to release one base set and then leave it at that either. I plan on continuing to do this, and I want to do it for a very long time. So I want to do this right because I want it to be something that succeeds. And then phase 5 is after IndieGo is done, I will commission the artists. So that's when the art will get made. After I've received the funds from IndieGo, I will pay them all, have the art made, get everything printed up and ready, and then I will have everything shipped out to the IndieGo people. And yeah. Oh yeah. Make booster packs and starter decks available to purchase, ship IndieGo perk rewards. So that's what I have for you guys today. I wanted to give you an update because this is very important to me, and I hope that you guys get invested in it as well. Not necessarily with money, just with time and exposure. Again, the link will be down below for the Facebook page, and I really hope you guys give it a look because I've already uploaded one bit of lore. I uploaded the lore about Carmichael, and today I will be uploading the lore of another freelancer, and it's all really cool stuff to me. So thanks for listening. Until next video, guys. Bye.